So this is the Kessler Pocket Jib. Inside you should see the jib arm. Also the end plate with fluid head on it. It's the end handles. There's the pan handle for the head. There's a section with a bunch of spare parts in it. You shouldn't need any of these at the moment. In its companion bag, you're looking for the legs and the wheel feet. The Hercules head is also in the bag. Attach the foot by screwing in the bolt into the bottom of the feet on the legs. To heighten the legs, you'll need to undo the hand nuts on each side of the leg. There's then a corresponding insert that you'll need to put the hand wheel back into. Make sure you separate your legs out fully before you do any adjustments like this. If not, then you might find that it doesn't sit properly on the legs. Secure any brakes just by pressing down on the brake locks on the wheels. Attach the Hercules head by undoing the hand lock just underneath. Fit the head into the bowl on top, taking the retaining plate and putting it underneath over the bolt, and then take your hand wheel and screw it back onto the bolt. Before you fully tighten, just try and line up the bubble on the little spirit level so that you're on a flat horizontal plane, and then fully tighten. It's also important to note that the pin for the tilt lock is in place, and make sure that the tilt lock handle is fully tightened. Then you can start to remove the retention hand wheels for the jib arm. Pick up your arm and have your retaining bolts in your hand, and once your arm is on, just line up the two holes and put in the retaining bolts and screw tight. So once you've finished there, and we want to put our handlebar through now, so undo the little kind of top nut, and then on the side you'll need to remove the nuts on the side as well to extend the arm out. Locate the handlebar, it's usually in half, and it will usually have two clamps on it for the weights. So put it in half, put a bolt through the middle, put it through the two holes for the handlebar retention, and then tighten the nuts. Once you've done this, attach your fluid head to the retention plate, and then attach the retention plate onto the end of the arm using the hand wheel. Can attach any pan handles, and we can also remove the camera plate so we can put that on the camera. We'll need both the 1/4 inch and 3/8 screw threads for the bottom of the FX9s, or if you're using other cameras that use both 3/8 or both 1/4 inch threads, then you'll need to put 2 of the appropriate screws in. Make sure you lock off the plate so that it's not going to move in its slot, and make sure that you've thoroughly tightened the screws onto the camera. For this next part, just make sure you've unlocked the balance lock and make sure that you've unlocked the tilt of the arm. Grab the weight bag and probably get out a couple of the 2 kilogram weights first. You're going to need to balance it so that each side has the equivalent weight on it. Release the retention clamps and put the weights on, and then see how that feels with the camera. Obviously you want it to kind of be counterbalanced, so we might need to add another set of 2 kilograms on each side here. And then we'll see what that feels like. That's still not kind of lifting the camera in its current position. So we may need to add on another 1 kilo or 1.5 kilos each side. What we're trying to look for here is a balance on the pivot point, which is the where the kind of arm attaches to the tripod. So what we may need to do is just kind of use a few different weight sort of combinations to make sure that it's as balanced as it can be. Also bear in mind, when you start adding things like batteries and monitors and all those kinds of things onto your camera, if you kind of add in any remote focus, or if you're adding any rail systems, that you may need to kind of add a lot of extra weight onto the other end to counterbalance that weight. So once you're happy with the balance of the camera, just a few kind of tips here is stand to the side when you're using the jib and the jib arm, just to ensure that you kind of don't bring the weights back down on yourself. Also, feel free to use things like a robotic head, so things like a Ronin jib or a iFootage kind of moving head. Obviously with those you'll need some kind of wireless transmitter to transmit the video signal so that you can operate the camera remotely.